Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor's new man. Upgrade from Ridge. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers tease Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, getting a new man fresh off being dumped by Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K. He's got a brand new wife this week, who is one of his old wives. Once Brooke waves her ring in Taylor's face, she'll officially know that Ridge is back off the market. Then, it's time for Taylor to move on, and we're wondering who it might be that wins her heart on GH. What's insane this week on Bold and the Beautiful is we saw Ridge break off his engagement to Taylor. Then he ran right over to Forrester Creations and immediately proposed to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. Lucky for her, there was a tray of jewelry there. So Ridge grabbed a huge sparkling diamond, and he put it right onto Brooke's finger. When Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, strolled into the room, Ridge said please officiate a wedding on the spot. Ridge went from broken up to engaged to happily hitched in a matter of moments on Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor's already crushed, so for her to find out Ridge said vows with Brooke, she'll be horrified. Of course, Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, is upset that Taylor's heartbroken thanks to Brooke and Ridge. But Taylor vowed she'll stay in lay, no matter how dirty Ridge did her, and he's done her pretty dirty this time. Official fall spoilers confirm that the end of Taylor and Ridge's relationship is going to send Taylor off in a new direction with somebody else. Bold and the Beautiful is hoping that fans will embrace this new start for Taylor. But who's it going to be with? The first person to consider as a romantic prospect is somebody who's on the screen right now, and that's Dollar Bill Spencer, Don Diamond. And yeah, Taylor shot him a few years ago, but what's a bullet in the back against the prospect of new love? Bill's been single for quite a while. He definitely needs a woman. He had that awful thing with Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, and then that really creepy thing where Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, was trying to hook up with him. Plus, Ridge despises Bill, so that would be a big bonus for Taylor. And I do think she and Bill could be fun together. But I think Taylor being with Bill is a long shot since he's supposed to get closer to Katie Logan, Heather Tom, soon. Another person to consider who is a good age for her, and I think would be a good prospect currently still on screen, is Deacon Sharp, Sean Kanan. He may fully just dump Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, after he finds out she's been helping Luna. She murdered two of his best friends. Deacon's going to be furious once he finds out Luna is alive and that Sheila has been lying to his face for quite some time. Plus, Deacon already let it slide once when Sheila was lying about having contact with Luna. So Sheila lying might push Deacon over the edge. If so, he may be single. He might be looking for a rebound. So maybe he ends up with Taylor. Of course, the idea of Deacon being with Taylor comes with the bonus of irritating Brooke. And Deacon is one of the few men that Brooke's been with who hasn't also hooked up with Taylor. So it could happen. Somebody else who's on the scene right now that we have got to talk about is Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. Yes, he's engaged to Hope Logan, Annika Noel, right now, but Carter may end up single soon. Because Hope is torn between Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Carter. So if Hope breaks off their engagement, Carter might be looking for a rebound. But again, I think he would be a long shot to be Taylor's new romance. Don't forget, Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, is already ready, willing, and barely waiting for Carter to lose Hope, so that Daphne can get her sweet-smelling hands all over him. Now, let's talk about somebody who is off-screen, but who would be amazing to come back and romance Taylor, and that is Thorne Forrester, Windsor Harmon. If you recall, Taylor and Thorne dated on and off starting in the late 1990s. Taylor first got with Thorne after finding out Ridge, her fiancé at the time, tried to break up Brooke's wedding to Grant Chambers. Taylor was furious and called off her wedding to Ridge. Then she got drunk, fell down, and her house caught on fire, and Thorne showed up and saved her life. After that, they became friends. But then Thorne fell in love with Taylor. Unfortunately, she was still in love with Ridge, but of course, he ran back to Brooke. Eventually, Taylor and Thorne dated, but it never lasted because her heart always belonged to Ridge. Ultimately, Taylor always wound up back with Ridge, and Thorne couldn't deal with it. This time would be different because Brooke and Ridge are married. Plus, Taylor might finally be done with Ridge once and for all. Now, I want to talk about is Rick Forrester, Jacob Young. I think it'd be great to have Jacob Young back, or even another actor in the role. Rick once dated Taylor's now-dead daughter, Fee Forrester, Mackenzie Mozzie, who is Steffi Forrester's, Jacqueline Massinswood, twin sister. Fee broke up with Rick and left LA, and Taylor and Nick had just broken up. So Taylor was depressed and Rick was upset too. So they rebounded and wound up falling in love. But Fee came back and was horrified to find out Rick had moved on with her mom Taylor. Plus, Rick's mom, Brooke, was furious that Rick was with Taylor. That was a long time ago. But if Rick came back to LA, I could see him and Taylor sparking again. The bottom line is there's just not a lot of eligible bachelors on the character canvas for her. My last option to discuss is somebody who is off-screen, but I'd love to have back on screen. And it's somebody Taylor's never been with. It's somebody that Brooke has never been with either, and that's important. I think it would be absolutely a game changer if they brought back Jack Finnegan, Ted King, to date Taylor. Love Ted King and would love to have him back. I think it would be phenomenal. Be sure to follow us on YouTube wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.